A list of 16 demands is now circulating online, sparking an intense reaction across social media and news platforms. People are debating what is actually on this list and why it is generating such shock. The claim suggests that Meghan Markle has outlined specific conditions for any potential visit back to the United Kingdom. What makes this story remarkable is the level of detail attributed to her requests and the strong reactions it has elicited. Some insiders say this is the most striking royal revelation in years. Historically, the royal family has faced scandals, public controversies, and sensitive interviews, yet this leak appears to go further than those past incidents. According to sources familiar with the situation, the alleged list has prompted palace staff to respond with disbelief and even frustration at the audacity displayed. One insider commented that while entitlement is not new in royal circles, these demands represent a different scale entirely. The most immediate concern appears to be security arrangements. The details, reportedly, go far beyond what ordinary visiting dignitaries or even senior royals might receive. Some suggest the protection requested surpasses standard measures for high-ranking officials. Observers point out that this raises ethical and financial questions, especially considering the couple publicly left the royal institution, emphasizing their desire for independence. Public reactions online have been swift and widespread. Many have expressed disbelief, mocking what they see as contradictions between past statements and these alleged demands. A source suggested that the leak was deliberately timed to illustrate what taxpayers might be asked to fund, creating a stark contrast with the couple's previous critiques of royal life and institutional support. There are reports that Prince Harry has been negotiating potential visits quietly for months. His goal, reportedly, is to maintain a connection to his homeland and family without compromising his personal life. However, the emergence of this list has complicated matters. Sources indicate that some of the requests may not have been fully communicated to him beforehand. As a result, Harry is reportedly navigating a complex and stressful situation, trying to balance personal, familial, and public responsibilities. The list is said to touch on several categories, beginning with security. Allegedly, it includes armed personnel, dedicated protective teams, and detailed protocols for public appearances. Observers describe these measures as extreme for anyone outside immediate working royal circles. The irony, critics argue, is hard to ignore. The same person who highlighted the burden of royal life and media scrutiny is reportedly demanding protective measures that would guarantee maximum public attention. Accommodation requests are also said to be significant. Allegedly, Meghan's conditions include specific residences, staffing arrangements, and rules to avoid interaction with certain family members. Experts suggest that these types of requests go far beyond what is typically allowed for former non-working royals. Even visiting dignitaries rarely have conditions that limit who they might encounter during state visits. According to insiders, these requirements suggest a level of detachment from established protocols. The document reportedly includes guidelines for public appearances as well. Some of the alleged conditions specify introductions, ceremonial placements, and titles. Observers note that this represents a misunderstanding of current royal hierarchy, as the couple voluntarily stepped back from working royal roles. Alleged demands about photography and media access are also part of the list, suggesting an intent to control public presentation. The reactions inside the royal household are described as firm and uncompromising. Sources indicate that palace officials dismissed the demands, citing their inconsistency with established rules and precedent. Reports suggest that the tone of internal discussions combined disbelief with incredulity, and the overall response was clear. These requests are considered unacceptable under current circumstances. Prince William's reaction, according to insiders, highlights a growing divide within the family. Observers suggest that his response was a mixture of disbelief and exasperation, seeing these demands as confirmation of prior concerns about the couple's approach to royal connections. Some speculate that invitations extended for official engagements were intended to soften the narrative, but may have been overshadowed by the leak itself. Public sentiment, according to recent polling, appears overwhelmingly critical. Many citizens have expressed frustration and disbelief over the alleged list. Commentary emphasizes perceived contradictions between past statements and current expectations. Even individuals who previously supported the couple reportedly feel conflicted, noting that the requests contradict the couple's stated reasons for leaving the royal institution. Sources suggest that the demands reflect not just entitlement, but possible regret. Insiders speculate that the document reveals a desire to regain aspects of the royal lifestyle that were previously rejected. Analysts describe this as a complex interplay between public criticism and private aspirations, highlighting the psychological strain of maintaining a dual narrative. Industry insiders warn that these revelations could have lasting consequences. Public perception of the couple may shift further, complicating potential future visits. Sources suggest that the leak creates tension for Harry, who must navigate between loyalty to his family, support for his spouse, and maintaining personal integrity. Observers note that the list, if accurate, provides a snapshot of underlying issues within the couple's personal and public life. Alleged demands related to security, accommodation, and ceremonial treatment reflect an expectation of privileges previously renounced. Experts in royal affairs describe the document as unprecedented and disruptive, signaling possible challenges in reconciling private desires with public roles. In summary, the leaked demands have generated widespread debate, strong reactions from the royal household, and intense public scrutiny. Sources indicate that these disclosures reveal complex family dynamics, public relations challenges, and tensions between personal desires and institutional constraints. The situation is still developing, and observers suggest that future actions by both the royal family and the couple may continue to be influenced by the fallout from this document. The controversy surrounding the alleged list of demands continues to draw attention. Observers describe the document as containing specific requests that touch on public treatment, household arrangements, and ceremonial priorities. For someone who stepped away from official royal duties, the expectations reportedly outlined in the list are extraordinary. Analysts suggest that the demands reflect a desire for privileges no longer formally accessible. Insiders suggest that Harry has been caught in a difficult position. He reportedly wishes to maintain connections with family and homeland, but the demands complicate these efforts. Sources describe him as facing emotional and practical challenges in reconciling personal loyalty with public scrutiny. The alleged leak highlights a tension between private negotiations and public exposure, amplifying the difficulty of managing relationships and reputation. The accommodation-related requests are said to include specific living arrangements, staffing needs, and privacy requirements. Observers note that these conditions could require significant planning and logistical adjustments. Reportedly, some requests aim to limit interaction with certain family members, which adds further complexity to coordination efforts. These details, according to insiders, reveal a disconnect from the protocols followed by working royals and visiting dignitaries alike. Media coverage and social media reactions have intensified the situation. The alleged list has been widely circulated, dissected, and commented on, with a focus on perceived inconsistencies between prior statements and the reported demands. Analysts describe the public response as overwhelmingly critical, reflecting broader concerns about privilege, fairness, and accountability. Public opinion appears largely unsupportive of the requests. Sources suggest that the leak has consequences beyond public perception. Internally, the royal household reportedly views the document as an example of miscommunication and unrealistic expectation. Experts note that former non-working royals typically follow established protocols and respect hierarchy, and any deviation can create confusion and tension. Insiders indicate that the palace response was clear. The demands will not be accommodated. Security remains a central point of concern. Allegedly, the requests include armed protection, dedicated teams, and measures that would draw substantial public attention. Critics highlight the apparent contradiction, leaving royal duties to escape scrutiny, but requesting visibility-guaranteed security. Observers describe the measures as disproportionate and beyond standard arrangements for former members. Ceremonial expectations are another element of the alleged list. Sources indicate that requests involve introductions, event placements, and titles, reflecting a desire for status inconsistent with current non-working roles. Public interactions and media control also feature prominently, with some reports suggesting that demands aim to shape public perception directly. Experts argue that this level of control is unusual for someone outside formal royal duties. The psychological aspect is widely discussed by observers. Sources suggest that the alleged demands reflect underlying dissatisfaction and possible regret about leaving royal life. Analysts note that balancing public statements with private desires creates tension, requiring careful negotiation of identity, public perception, and familial relationships. Reportedly, the couple's internal discussions have become increasingly strained. Harry's position is described as particularly challenging. He reportedly wishes to maintain a positive relationship with both his spouse and family, yet the alleged demands put him in a position where accommodating them is impossible. Sources indicate that he feels trapped between loyalty, negotiation, and public scrutiny. Observers suggest that the leak exacerbates stress, forcing him to confront issues he may not have anticipated. Public sentiment, according to recent observations, is overwhelmingly critical. Social media users, news commentators, and even former supporters have expressed frustration and disbelief. Analysts point to a growing perception that the alleged demands are inconsistent with past statements and actions, reinforcing narratives about entitlement and contradiction. Industry experts warn that the leak may have lasting consequences. Future visits, engagements, and negotiations are likely to be framed through the lens of this controversy. Sources suggest that both the couple and the royal household must carefully consider how to navigate ongoing interactions to avoid further public scrutiny. Overall, the alleged list provides insight into complex dynamics between personal expectations, family relationships, and public roles. Observers note that the demands, if accurate, highlight challenges in reconciling private desires with institutional realities. The situation emphasizes the tension between identity, privilege, and responsibility, and illustrates how public exposure can dramatically affect both perception and decision-making. Ultimately, this controversy is more than security or accommodations. It is about expectations, perception, and the interplay between personal choices and public responsibility. The leak serves as a case study in the difficulties faced when private desires intersect with institutional norms and public scrutiny. Analysts suggest that navigating these challenges requires transparency, communication, and an understanding of the limits imposed by role and status.